Good evening, everyone. Our group includes Lavitra Misal, Kaustubh Narkhade, me, and our guide, Mrs. Meera Thorat ma'am. Most people in today's world forget the importance of keeping a right posture while performing yogasanas and steps suggested by physiotherapists. Having a good posture affects people's health and could also scar them for their whole life. Our group has taken advantage of this ignored problem and proposed a solution for it using OpenCV and deep learning. The contents of this presentation are as given in the following slide. Let us start off with the paper's abstract. The problem this paper sets out to solve is human posture monitoring. Keeping good posture is very important because it helps in improving spine health. People who keep good posture are less likely to experience back and neck pain. The paper proposes a solution to this problem of fixing human posture. The objective is to monitor the posture of humans using technologies like OpenCV and TensorFlow and make comparisons to see if the individual is following the right posture. Let me walk you through the introduction section of our paper. With the advancement of technology and improvements to computers, it becomes better at interacting with humans in different ways. It leads to systems that can analyze humans in various different ways, such as posture, eye movement, facial changes, etc. Recently, studies have focused on an individual's posture, which is critical for good health, as a person should pay attention to his posture or else it might cause them problems later. There have been a lot of attempts at identifying the posture of humans, and quite a few have succeeded, but not completely, as every image is different. This has been achieved using deep learning, in which the computer will analyze a dataset, in the proposed case an image, and once taught, the important posture points in a person's body should be able to later detect it in new images. Let us start off with the literature survey. The first research paper we have is the real-time multi-pose 2D pose estimation using part affinity fields by Carnegie Mellon University. Their paper presents an approach to efficiently detect the 2D pose of multiple people in an image. Their approach uses a non-parametric representation, which we refer to as part affinity fields, to learn to associate body parts with the individuals in the image. Their architecture encodes global context, allowing a greedy bottom-up parsing step that maintains high accuracy while achieving real-time performance, irrespective of the number of people in the image. The architecture is designed to jointly learn part locations and their associations via two branches of the same sequential prediction process. Previously, algorithm used to use top-down approaches, that is, find the number of humans first and then find joins of every person detected. This paper's algorithm uses the bottom-up approach, making it robust and efficient. It presents the first bottom-up representation of associations via part field affinity, a set of 2D vector fields that encodes the location and orientation of limbs over the image domain. It takes in a 2D color image as an input and produces the 2D locations of anatomical key points for each person in the image. First, a two-branched network simultaneously predicts a set of 2D confidence maps of body part locations and a set of 2D vector fields of part affinities, which encode the degree of association between parts. Finally, the confidence map and the affinity fields are passed by greedy interference to output the 2D key points for all people in the image. The second research paper we have is the computer vision and image processing by Technic Informatica. Their paper studies two approaches to the segmentation and the retrieval of image data. Segmentation is basically to divide an image into areas that are not overlapping through specific algorithms to estimate an area of the image. The technique of separation and merging the pixels begin by dividing an image into several regions and then combining the areas to meet predetermined criteria. The paper also explains how in face processing the algorithm is used to identify the element of head and face, which has a lower resolution. The paper ends by talking about the research on image processing has been directed to meet machine learning and computing processes that can recognize patterns of increasingly diverse objects. The third research paper we have is the efficient pose, scalable single person pose estimation by Daniel Gross, Harry Ramperio, and Espen F. Elhen. This paper has proposed a novel convolutional neural network architecture called as efficient pose, which exploits recently proposed effect nets in order to deliver efficient and scalable single person pose estimation. The paper has performed the challenging MP2 single person benchmark and has shown that the proposed efficient pose model substantially outperformed the widely used open pose model both in terms of accuracy and computational efficiency. The next research paper we have is the fast human pose estimation by the University of Electronic Science and Technology of China. This paper has focused on the critical pose model efficiency model. It talks about how the focus is usually on how to improve the model generalization performance, but the significant efficiency model is put aside. To this end, the paper has introduced a new fast pose distillation model learning strategy. The paper has designed a lightweight hourglass network capable of constructing more cost-effective pose estimation convolutional neural network models while retaining sufficient learning capacity for allowing satisfactory accuracy rates. This paper has also completed the model cost effectiveness benchmark for MP2 human pose and lead sports pose. Now the objective of our paper is to detect the posture using OpenCV and also suggest individuals the correctness using deep learning technology. This is the block diagram of the workflow of our program. There are two starting points for the program. The first one is where we take multiple posture images and run our algorithm on the images. The algorithm then detects the body joints and labels them and stores them into the database. These points can then be used for comparison. The second input point is the live feed through the camera or a video input. For the video input, we do the same thing, run our algorithm on it and get the key points on the body. After we have key points from both our live and the images stored in the database, we can compare them. The algorithm for comparison takes into account the position of the points and the angles between them, etc. and produces a percentage correctness results and also tells the user which part of the body they should correct. This is the implementation. We have given our data set the body and it successfully detected the key joints. This is the case study of a specific pose that has been run through our program. This pose is called as Utkatta Konasana, which is also known as Sumo Asana or Malasana pose. The first image is the correct posture and also a reference image. The three images on the right, image A, B, and C, have been modified a bit. For example, the arms have been moved or the legs have been modified. If we take a look at image A, we can see that the left leg has been moved outward from the body, but everything else is the same. In image B, both left and right legs have been moved and modified, along with the right arm. In image C, the right arm has folded and the left leg has also been moved outward. After running each of these modified images through the algorithm with comparison to the reference image, we get average correctness percentage of 91%, 70% and 80% for images A, B and C respectively. As we can see, image B has been modified the most, so has the lowest correctness percentage of 70%. Accordingly, image A and C have their respective correctness percentage. This shows that the algorithm is working correctly. The next part is the result analysis for our project. For each of these experiments, we have taken one image as the reference image and three other images which are similar. For this, we have taken common yoga poses as the images were readily available on the web. The first pose we have used here for comparison is Tadasana. As you can see, for the three comparison images, we have gotten a correctness percentage of 83, 75 and 75%. Thus, the average correctness we have gotten here is 78%. This is in comparison to the images in the reference image column. The next pose we have used here is the mountain pose. For this pose, we have gotten an average accuracy of 73%. Similarly, we have used it for other asanas as well, where we could get the average correctness as 76%, 76%, 53%, 74% for Sukhasana, 49% for Trikosana, and 56% for Vrikshasana, and 80% for Utkat Konasana, and 76% for Vajrasana. And finally, to conclude, let us briefly go over what we did in this project. We found a problem, people having bad posture during certain activities. We then went through the multiple research papers that were related to posture detection and studied them. We found out multiple ways of detecting posture through computer imagery and used one of those methods in our own program. We then used these methods in multiple places like detecting posture from an image and also from a live feed or a video. We then compared the posture from our database and the person performing and told the person how he had to correct his posture. This project has a lot of future scope. Until now, only the back-end analysis algorithm has been completed. In the future, a front-end could be added to this project. This project could be used in lots of application. This program can also suggest correctness to a user. It will be able to tell which part of the user's posture is wrong and can tell them how they could fix their posture. This can help a lot of people lead healthier lives by assisting them in their exercises, yogasanas, physiotherapies, and much more. Here we have provided references to the documentation and material we have used in the research of this project. Thank you so much.